What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's happening? How it do? Back once again. Come on in. Come on in. Nothing special going on. We're going to bring you right into it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait for everybody to get in here. Happy Sunday, July 13th, year 2025. All the way live. We are at Bar on the Ave. That's right. Good food, better drinks, but definitely drink responsibly. One of our gold member sponsors has been around, probably now about 3 or 4 years, I believe, have been around and established. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, come on in. Come on in. What you waiting on? What you waiting on? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We're here today to talk to, and rumor has it, let me see if I can find it. Rumor has it that we have been working on this in particular interview, B-More, for about 2 years. Almost 2 years in the making. We've been working on this interview. I have been blessed to come to this organization as an outsider, if you will, when I first started announcing, when I first started doing interviews. This organization was one of the first ones to say, hey, come on in. We want to see. We want to see what you can do, see how you do your thing. I came in here, first interview, set up on the side of the track. I used to pop up a tent, man, put down a table, and this gentleman in particular, I don't think he's ever been interviewed like that on that type of youth platform. I was one of the first ones. Then when it was time to call a game, he's like, man, go ahead, take the booth. Do what you do. Every time I ask him, hey man, what you need? Just do what you do. I said, man, how am I supposed to, what am I living up to? What am I supposed to be doing? Me, myself, and the student driving on the way here, all the way here in North Charleston, I almost gave it up. Driving to North Charleston, come down to this field, I go up to the booth, I turn on the music, and everything would just come to life. It was nobody, hey man, you gotta do this, announce that. Call up with little small stuff. I get it, but it was nothing major. They kind of let PhD U Sports, the professor, be the professor. In the lab was in the lab, and it was actually born and bred right here in North Charleston. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce to you to none other than the founders and the futures. It's the NC Raiders. Oh my goodness, finally we get to sit down with these gentlemen, just a few of them now. You can bring them all in, we'd be in trouble. We had this place packed. Yeah man, we had this place packed out. If you doing all right, Coach? Oh, he's waving. If you would, gentlemen, do me a favor. Introduce yourself to everybody out there, going from left to right. Tell them your first and last name for me.
Hey, my name is Roy Keith.
Coach Roy Keith in the building.
Yes, and I used to coach the Raiders and live in North Charleston.
There you go. Coach Roy Keith. Up next.
Coach Randy.
There you go. Y'all know Coach Randy been out there. Now, Coach, hold on now. We ain't seen you around in a minute now. You ain't give it up yet. Still there? Just stay in the background, play in the background. And the man in the middle, none other, my guy. Coach, let him know who you are.
Coach Chuck Littleton.
There you go.
One of the founders of the organization.
There you go. Coach Chuck in the building. And up next, y'all know this, man. He ain't got no stripes on today.
No stripes, just money white, just doing what I do for the kids.
There you go. And come on, man, this familiar guy. Me and my little show had to come out there and see you today. Tell everybody who you are loud and proud. There you go. And the director in the building. And of course, behind the stage right here, Coach B-More. And hey, we over here. We gonna play the background today. Don't even worry about me today, man. We here for the questions, comments, and concerns. So make sure you tell a friend and tag a friend. We still going in. All right? Well, listen, we gonna start off right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. Coach Chuck, founder. When did the NC Raiders actually start?
Actually,
Well, I'm sorry. When did the program actually start?
okay, first of all, I want to take a moment of silence for a lot of the coaches who's not here.
Amen.
So we want to take a moment of silence for that. And we also have some coaches who are sick. So we want to pray for them as well.
Definitely.
But to actually start, the program was in 1988. I started coaching with the Brentwood Falcons under Cooper River Parks and Playground.
Okay.
So during that time, I came out and was just playing around with the kids fresh out of high school, working, and this guy was coaching out there, Randy, and he saw what I was doing with the kids, and he contacted me and he said, man, I need you to come on out here and coach with these kids, man. He said, I saw what you was doing with those kids, and, you know, I didn't mind being a coach, but at that time I was, you know, a little rough around the edges myself.
Running wild just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
He saw that, and he saw that, you know, he saw the connection between me and the kids. And also, it had to be God, because when he came to me and I started coaching, it was so funny because once we got rolling and we went and got our own team, because we was up there coaching, most of the kids didn't even have a ride to practice.
Yeah.
So I look around the field and I said, man, these kids from our community, these are our kids. So why are we up here helping somebody else coach our kids?
Right.
18 years old, I went to him with the idea. Now you're talking about stepping out on faith?
Yeah.
Man,
At 18 especially.
we did it. We met at 7-Eleven on Spool Avenue. You know 7-Eleven ain't even around there no more. So we met and he said, I don't know about that, Chuck. He said, I think them people might. I said, well, at 18 years old, and this is how I know it was God. 18 years old, I said, if we try to get this team and they decline us, we'll get everybody from all these prospective communities to sign the petition.
Yeah.
But actually, we took the idea to them and they liked it. So we started coaching the team, and when we first started practicing on the height. And we realized we had so much kids, it wasn't enough room. So we had to move to Acabee, and that's why we used to call it Acabee Union Heights Raiders.
There you go. That's
So
what
now-
Union Heights. I got you.
Now we were out there practicing. Now the guys that they played for before got upset, took their equipment. We had no equipment. We had over 100 kids on that park from age range 7 to 14. Only a few of them had equipment.
Right.
And we started practicing. And we were out there practicing, getting close to the day, and we had all kind of people giving us promises. We went to every church, we went to every business in the community. No response. So one day we out here practicing, and we had a guy from the neighborhood, from Acabee, who was doing some things in the community he shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And he said, but
Y'all know what
he
he's talking about. I know
but
what
he
he's
always was a community guy.
Right.
And he said, man, coach, he said, what y'all doing? I said, man, we trying to get this team together, but I don't know if we're going to be able to play the first year, but we're going to get these boys together. And he said, well, I'll tell you what. He said, meet me at my Uncle Dan's house after practice. And I met him, and we had a discussion. And he said, man, I really like to look for the community, to look good, the kids out there. And he said, tell me what you need.
Yep.
I told him, I said, listen, we got kids out here that don't have equipment. We got kids out here that can't pay for their registration. Now, mind you what I said. All the businesses, everybody we went to in the community,
Everybody united.
didn't even, I guess they thought it didn't make sense.
Right.
Because, like one of my great mentors said, what makes sense to God doesn't make sense to us.
That's true.
And listening to this journey, you can find out that this God.
Yeah.
So, we out there practicing. I went to his uncle's house like he instructed me to do, and he said, man, I want to go ahead and be involved in this. He said, now I'm not going to give you no money. I didn't want no money.
Right.
And
You
he
want the
said,
equipment.
he said, what I want you to do, I want you to take, this Saturday, take every one of them kids who don't need equipment, who need equipment up to TNT Sports, and tell me whatever you need and bring me a receipt.
Yep.
I did that. I mean, them kids ordered cleats, shin pad,
Did the whole
cups, everything.
everything.
Gloves.
Top to bottom.
And he said, bring me a receipt. And I
Yeah.
did that. And we took the receipt back to him.
Right.
And he said, man, I'm glad I was able to do this. And he said, I'm doing this because I don't want them kids to end up like me.
Right.
That's why he said he done it. He sponsored the whole team. He sponsored everything we needed. And right after that, we had a community grocery store. A guy by the name of Henry Burke ran that community grocery store.
Okay.
And the guy who sponsored everything was Solomon Dukes, who to this day is still a sponsor.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I say, I know it's God.
Yeah.
This guy went to jail on a life sentence.
Yeah. And still.
And his 24th year, he and I had the conversation about this right here. And he didn't even remember he did it.
Yeah.
He didn't even remember he did it. He said, really, I did that? And I said, yeah, you did it. But it goes to show you, sometimes bad things happen for good reason.
Yeah.
Even though this man was doing the wrong thing,
Right.
he still had good in his heart.
Good intentions.
He saved a bunch of lives. He saved a bunch of kids.
Right.
And we went on, we started the team, and a lot of things I'm saying, and speaking with Coach Roy and Randy, they don't remember. Because we had over 100 kids. I had a car, Randy had a car, but Roy had a van. Roy was our main source of transportation.
Getting the kids to and from practice.
Getting the kids back and forth. And he did that. Sometimes even he had to make 2 and 3 trips.
Yeah.
Done it. So here we goes to forming the team. Now we get into an argument about what the team name was. I'm a Giants fan.
Because everybody, hey, yeah, me
He a
too. I'm
Minnesota
sorry.
fan.
Yeah.
He a San Francisco fan, and if I can remember, to show Roy, let me see how sharp my memory is. He was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yeah. No.
Always the Raiders.
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 Always been Raiders.
Raiders.
Always just go
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
So
Gonna kick it out. But
okay. So Roy never was in the argument of what the team name was.
Right.
The main argument was me and Randy,
Yeah.
basically. So Randy came up with the idea, which made all the sense in the world. We got a guy from a place called Daniel Jenkins Project
Yep.
by the name of Art Shell. Went to Barnes Wilson High School, played in the NFL,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
came from this area.
That's right. Art Shell.
So it only made sense that we named the team the Raiders when Randy presented the idea. I said that was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything fit. The name, the image,
Yep.
and where we from, you know, fit everything. So
Right.
we came up with the name the Raiders. And our first year, our first physical playing year was 1990. It's on the back of my shirt. Established in 1990.
First year that you
Yeah.
came out and played. Now this was North Charleston Rec back then.
Yeah.
North Charleston
North
Rec
Charleston
came
Rec.
out the time that they were born. It played a little bit before that, but thankfully, due to the blessing of the community, finally somebody stepped up,
Yeah.
came in, got the uniforms, got together. You're talking TNT Sports. Now let me tell you something. I've been here in Charleston for over 30 years. TNT Sports used to be the place to go to. I ain't gonna lie. You tried to find it. TNT Sports was there. They turned around, up and gone. When places like that move out of the neighborhoods, I'd like to let y'all know it does affect it a little bit. I played against sports. It's all the way in Mount Pleasant. So you're trying to get somebody to go all the way over there to get equipment. We understand marketplace and all that stuff. It's so-so. At least with played against sports, you know it's refurbished and it's still in good. There's a lot of times you get old equipment. You guys got new equipment. Brand new equipment, fresh off the shelf. Everything they wanted from head to toe. How did the first season go for the Raiders? Union Heights Raiders at the time. Union Heights Raiders, how did the first season go?
Well, the first season wasn't really a good season.
Yeah.
The first season was a trying time because it was just getting adapted to the league, getting adapted to what we had to do as coaches.
Right.
You know, mind you, like I said, I was 18 years old. at that time I was what, 19, 20, being a head coach.
Right.
I knew the game, but I had to learn the system. So the first year was kind of trying year. It was a good year.
Right.
But the greatest thing about the first year
Yeah.
is the team we came from. We beat the emergency brakes off.
Yeah.
And the coach came to me after
Not
the
the
game.
emergency brake. Hold on now. Normally,
Yeah.
you just hear you beat the brakes on
brakes.
somebody. If you beat the emergency brake,
Yeah.
when you go to
Yeah.
the emergency brake,
Yeah.
God damn.
Our quarterback was Darren Robinson,
Yeah.
who was playing center and nose guard for the team we came from. You remember that, George? Darren was the center, and the coach came to me after the game, and it reminded me of, remember the Titans? Y'all
Yeah.
know what scene I talk about when I tell him what I told him.
Yeah.
So he said, man, I didn't know Darren could run the ball like that. His son was the quarterback.
Yeah. Oh.
And I said, did you ever give him a chance?
You know he never gave him a chance.
Yeah.
His
But
son
anyway,
being the quarterback, yeah, he made
That
him
just
the
goes to
center.
show you that it ain't how you started, it's how you finish.
Of course.
Our first year was kind of trying year,
Right.
and it leads to a lot of what I preach and what I promote. Failure is the key to success.
Right.
And Albert Einstein said failure is success and progress. I ain't know nothing about Albert Einstein until I started saying it.
Right.
You know, so that year was a trying year. And even though it don't matter how much games you win, you still go to the AMVET tournaments or whatever.
Yep.
We didn't do good, none of that the first year. But 91,
Oh, yeah.
actually we did have the 6U. They won.
Oh, that was 6
7
Wow.
U, they won.
Okay. 7 U. 7 to 8.
Yeah.
Okay. 7 to 8
Yeah,
U.
7 and 8 won.
Yeah. I mean, but it's got to be tough. Swinging over, we'll come back to you, Coach Chuck.
Okay.
Coach Roy, you're talking about, even with the 7 to 8 year olds, first time these young student athletes playing a organized sport. What was the biggest challenge in your coaching? Some of those first timers.
Man, let's see. Things like keeping their attention.
Yeah. Oh my God. We still have a hard time now with some 12 now.
Yeah. And getting them to listen because the kids came from, I don't exactly know, but the kids came from less disciplined neighborhood.
I got you. No, we get it. Sometimes it does play on the demographics.
Right.
Let's not hide that part. We get it.
So you have to you got to get someone to listen to you. A lot of them not used to listening to people. So getting them organized and getting them to listen, and like Chuck and Randy said, later on getting them to believe what you say.
Right. Right.
But and like Chuck said, first year I just want to add a little to that. It was a rough year. Like you said, an over year or whatever, it was a rough year. For many reasons, like I was talking earlier. We didn't know how to coach.
Right.
And we had to get prepared.
Right.
But they were, they weren't fully prepared. They were just prepared as I was here. It's 7 and 8. I remember one time anyway.
Right.
The referee just keep calling holding on my boy. So I went through one day and I said, look here, man, these are 7, 8 children. I said, but by the time you tell them to plan, by the time they get back to the line of scrimmage from the huddle, they already forgot what you told them.
Yeah.
I said, I'm saying things that I knew my boys ain't the only one older.
Right. not in the whole game.
Not in this game, no.
Not in the whole
Right. But getting them to listen, realizing that this ain't no Michael Jordan one-man type of thing.
Right.
You got to rely on your teammates. But in the end, one thing is, those kids always, once we talk about the, like all the basics and how to tackle and do all those things,
Correct.
those kids, I don't think they never left them.
Yeah.
And even though it was It was hard. That first year was so hard for us to win games. I was going to say it.
Yeah.
Many times we had to score 2 or 3 touchdowns just to get 6 points of it. That's how much they call it back.
Oh,
That's what I'm
man.
saying. Because I mean,
So if you're going home
Yeah,
for a
that's
while,
it.
I'm gonna wait till I get to the future part. They've been had flags.
so the part about how hard we had it, it wasn't. What I was so teed off was these kids were trying hard, doing what we tell them to do.
Right.
And to me, you're cheap.
Right.
The field wasn't there.
I think it's
the playing wasn't level.
of course right. Not a level playing field at all. I think you felt, a little frustration behind it because of course a play can just go off perfectly. You've been practicing these 2 or 3 plays all week long, and finally they get it. The man runs through the right hole, the blocks are there, then all of a sudden the flag comes out. That's a little disheartening both to the coach and to the players because if the kid turns around, the student athlete turns around and scores a touchdown, and you talk about bring it back, come back, you gotta redo it. The frustration starts to come in, and you start getting, I don't know. You're tuning out of it now. You know what I mean? You're no longer trying to feel it because now you just they're against us. You know what I mean? It's hard to play against the referees sometimes.
So that was one area where we had to work hard.
Yeah.
They playing against us, so that means we got to work twice as hard.
That's right.
Because I don't care. Y'all not gonna beat us at our game. We know the game y'all playing.
That's right.
We were old enough, especially here. I'm older than both of them.
Yeah.
We old enough to come to them times where you're right, but you ain't gonna be right in this one.
not in this one. Not in this one. Exactly.
But I want to give credit to Randy and Chuck and all the other coaches. They did hang in there because we did have a lot of stuff.
Right.
And I remember seeing one time, I don't know, you might want to cut this out. I was saying that, man, what we need is one white coach. The white kids was here. We were totally the readers black. Everything was black.
Everything was black. Black on black.
Everything was black. I mean,
even the kids was black. We know what you're saying, Mr. Coach. Right? It's all right.
Everything was black.
We know what it is. It's the truth, man. What am I supposed to be here for? But Coach Randy, moving on to, and you've been around, still around till this day, walking the sidelines. We always appreciate your comments and everything here on the show. In the beginning, what was, other than the equipment, which is major, other than the rides, which we're still going through, by the way, with some of these student athletes, what was another mountain that you had to get over? Ooh, the daddy ball factor. Back it up. Yeah, that was one of the tougher things to coach your own. Now, it really wasn't back in the days, right? So I'm in my 50s. I understand some. Back in the day, it wasn't so much about daddy ball. You had to prove it more if you were the coach's son then, because they already expected that. They expected that. If you were a coach back then, your son played football for you. You were expected to be at least within the top 3 of a player. So yeah, you held them accountable to the same standards as everybody else. And some are doing it, but again, like Coach Roy said, I think that would have started at home, right? So you're talking about if you didn't have the discipline at home, you damn sure weren't coming to this football field listening to a stranger who was younger in age back then and trying to kick and give you game. You weren't listening to him as hard. You know what I mean? That's just like older brother or something like that. You weren't listening as hard. What are the couple of things that you had to do to get these kids to buy in to what you guys were doing?
Do good in school.
Yeah.
I do it good. I still do that today. Now they bring me the pool car.
Yeah.
I give a gift. They don't know that.
Yeah.
One time they get bring me the pool car. I give them a gift.
There you go. So, all right. So, a student athlete. You have to be a student athlete in order to get on with Coach Randy. And then, hey, you get the treats. They still do it to this day, right? They'll do the ice days. They'll do the pizza days and things like that. Do you think that's kind of now, here in 2025, is that still a technique or just a dangle carrot syndrome to where I'm trying to get you in and get you to buy in?
I still do that now.
You still do that now? You
Yeah,
still do
people,
that?
I say, you do that, I give you a piece.
Yeah. Yeah. It don't take much. It doesn't take much. I think that's small and that's minor. Especially being a 501c3. Technically, you know, you take that through taxes, you write it off. If you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, I guarantee you'll get blessed 10 times over when all that stuff comes through. You know, talking some Little Caesar pizza, it's still money out of pocket though. Let's just say that. It's still money out of pocket that he's going out there doing when he really doesn't have to. You know what I mean? You should want to buy in, you should already buy in to the program. But this being a new program, it was a little bit tougher to get some of those people in. How were the parents back then?
We had a booster club back there.
Uh-oh.
Back there.
A booster club.
When we did, they go get it.
Yeah.
We had a booster club.
Was it a tight-knit community back then? Yeah. Okay. I like that. It's like that now, but then some want to get in and they just want to run it. Like, I understand, yes, it is a business. But don't run it like it's your own business. You have to sit there and listen to ideas and thoughts, and somebody else might have already been there. They might have already done that. I don't know what each of these gentlemen do for a living or have done for a living, whether you're retired or not retired. I don't know what you've done for a living. Why wouldn't I want to bring up some of these conversations to say, well, dang, I didn't know Chuck works in finance. Well, if Chuck works in finance, he's probably going to tell you how the money should. Look, you put this aside, boom, you only show this. I understand it's a 501c3. You should only show this right here. Keep this off to the side for your mess, like for emergency stuff that you gotta even get. However the business has to be ran, but now it seems some just want to be selfish, if you will, with it. Whether it's trust issues or even if you have financial issues by somebody else running it, you have to trust the people. It should be people that you've been around with, have the same vision. You know what I mean? You never want to be the smartest man in the room. That means you're in the wrong room. So I want to be amongst other people that have bigger and better ideas or a different way. If I have an idea, a different way of doing things. Has anything changed from your vision from then up until right now? Travel?
We didn't have travel to you back then.
You like? Yeah.
We can't even know nothing.
Yeah, do you think it's too? We're talking about, and we had this
I like
conversation.
it better now.
You like it better now? Well, because after a while you start getting used to the same kids. You're playing the same kids year after year, and when they go up, you go up. They go up, you go up. It's where does the competition come from? Unless they get a new kid moved in the neighborhood and something like that. Now you're kind of watching them. They ain't never seen him before. That type of thing. But no, the game's always gotten better, faster, and stronger. And to this right now, we'll talk about some of the players I've seen come through NC Raiders that are just phenomenal, coming all the way up through. Probably didn't hear too much about it in the 6 and the 8U, but when they 8U, you probably seen them a little bit. Then got to 10 and 12, and these kids' names just blew up, and they're all over the low country when it comes to high school right about now. Monty, you've been around, oh my gosh. I know you and I have been, I think we're 6, 7, 8 years strong that I've known you've been with the program.
Yep.
How long have you actually been with the program?
20-something years.
20-something
There's
years.
a bridge for that. So from
Yeah.
the old to the new, as we transition from the North Charleston Rec Department
Okay.
to Skyflow. So we were playing in Dune Reeds.
That's correct.
So literally,
Oh.
our Saturdays would be playing in the rec in the morning.
Yeah.
And we play our Skyflow games in the evening. So we were doing that for the first, I think, 2 years.
Yeah.
We didn't leave the North Charleston Rec Department. We only fully left till when COVID hit.
Okay.
And we met with the rec department, and they couldn't schedule any games, and we didn't want to lose, which is the primary focus.
You didn't
It's not
want to
about
lose
wins
your
or
players.
losses.
Yeah.
It's about keeping the kids off the street. That's why.
Correct.
Primarily, that's why it was started, as he alluded to earlier, Roy did.
Yeah.
So that's what the biggest attraction to me was, and we didn't want to lose that, so we didn't shut down during COVID. You remember the days?
Yeah,
We kept
yeah.
going, and that's what brought us forward full time. For the first 2 years, we were
doing dual.
Yeah, we were dual. Yeah, so the first couple of years, we had state championships in both. I think he won in both the
Yeah.
first year. So yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, see, that might be something, ladies and gentlemen, y'all didn't know. Dual leagues and still handling business in both. How the transition, the old school, I won't say the old school way, but of course they had a way that they were doing it. You were involved in that. Then the new style started coming through. Was it a big change? Was it something like, hey, they kind of bought Anton? I would say that Anton bought into, hey, this is what we're doing, and he just fit. It was like a puzzle.
Yeah, well, Chuck had already done that. And
Right.
what happened was we were transitioning to doing another thing we were doing high school as well. So as we was transitioning during that whole time, we just put the program together that everybody's on the same page. So from 6U, 8U, 10U, 12U, that's what we started doing. And then we started extending the season. So while the season starts earlier now,
Right.
there was never any time off. So after we took off maybe 2 or 3 weeks, we started traveling.
Right.
And that's when we kind of put together the G-Men in addition to that. And it was primarily to keep the kids off the street. And once again, during COVID, people weren't really playing basketball.
Right.
That's when we really kicked it into high gear.
Right.
And he had the vision to say, hey, we're going to do different tournaments. Remember the Al Spear
Oh
stuff
my
we used to go ahead
gosh.
and do? You know, so that's what it all was about. Primarily, like I said, it's giving the kids something to do because he'll tell you dealing with the mayor and the police chief. From 6 to 8, our kids can be doing anything. We want to
could.
keep them off the street. And that's why we still practice in the same location, still do what we do.
Right. And even then, the Charleston streets were very influential for a 6 and 8-year-old. You see the nice cars, you see these guys walking around flashing the money. We're talking about teenagers even that turn around and flashing the money. Let's talk about that real quick. And that's probably one of my favorites when I first came around. It was the G-Men. G-Men, my goodness. That idea and that thought process of bringing that together was probably one of the most phenomenal things that had happened and that I've seen personally. Simply because it was an all-star team that got together that would turn around and travel. The great thing about it was anybody and everybody could have tried out for the G-Men. Not a lot of people did. I don't want to say egos, but because of pride, if you will, you didn't want my child, you didn't want your child being coached by Chuck. You didn't want them being coached by Monty. You dang sure didn't want them coached by Anton because you thought and you knew that he's going to steal this plan. He's going to give him. He's going to like Anton more than he likes his coach over here, more than he likes me, so they weren't sending the kids. To me, that was the idea, that was the vision of like, so why not send them over there? Because the G-Men started, I say pretty much started from my aspect, started that whole travel thing about going Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, anywhere pad-wise, not just 7v7, pad-wise, and going and playing these tournaments and tearing up. Was it hard when the G-Men started? What was your vision of it, and how did it end to where, yeah, that's where I wanted. That's where we want to see it.
Well, funny story. He was supposed to, Chuck was supposed to be one of the coaches. He did so much basketball.
Right.
So it overlapped with that. He said, hey, I want to do it, but I really can't. I got to focus on the basketball. These guys have a top basketball team.
Right.
So what happened was myself, Coach Anton, and Coach Booker, got to give a shout out to Coach Booker.
Yeah, shout out Coach Booker.
Extended.
Right.
So we wanted to put together the best of the best, not for us. We wanted to challenge those players to play against the best. And they hear a different voice. So
right.
What you want to always do is you hear the same coach of 6, 8, 10, 12.
Right.
When you get to the high school, middle school, it's not going to be the same coach.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want anybody's players. Everybody went back to their team. There's basically the Stampede and the Raiders. And we had some other people from West Ashley, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
And that was the whole goal. Just to coach the kids, go back to your team, and let's go ahead and make a name for low country football. So that was the whole vision that we were putting together. And the biggest thing was not even Eagles. Everybody was a head coach during that time. Everybody just coached a position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So more than the Eagles and myself, Coach Booker, and myself and Coach Anton, it was a seamless. I think you were down in Myrtle Beach one time.
Yep.
I think you posted a picture or something like that.
That's right.
I wish I could be on the field of his conversation. Never had an argument, never had a fight, nothing. It's just go ahead and talk through the game and just fix it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the best time for just coaching with in a travel organization where the best players always play.
Yeah, it was crazy at that time because when I first started getting into the media, it was a lot of talk. It was almost similar to like Coach Roy was saying earlier that a lot of cheating and a lot of this and that going on. Everybody's been in that position where kids, hey, they might have missed the dates and the kid turned older and just really weren't paying attention. It is what it is. But once you get that mark on you, once you get that scar on you, that's what they think about you from then on. When you think about NC Raiders, the Union Heights Raiders, and things like that, me personally, because I'm living here in the Low Country, you're thinking demographics. Man, it's going to be hard to get it. It's going to be hard to do this. It's going to be hard to do that. Maybe because of everything that's happening downtown and it's starting to flow this way, okay? It's going to be hard for them to keep it. But every year, you guys pop back up. First of all, I know y'all growing kids somewhere. You got whatever that elixir is, I'm gonna need 2 bottles because y'all got to be growing these kids somewhere. You got 9 and 10-year-olds the size of Coach Chuck. I don't want to know the secret. But what is the formula to keep these kids keep coming back every season? Because you've had some that started with you. We're going to talk to Anton next. That started with you from 6U and went all the way up to 12U. And heck, y'all went and coached them in high school. So what is that? I mean, what does that mean? How does that make you feel first?
Really well. I mean, it's a family atmosphere. It comes from full circle from 1990 all the way to where we're actually at.
Right.
That's where we're in the transition now. With I want to mention Coach Vaughn, Coach Shaq, Coach Booby, Coach Butler,
Yep.
Coach Flex, Coach Thomas. All the guys play in the program and then they get it back. So the continuity and still being out in the community. So that's the biggest thing in our success. It's really a community-based, what you're talking about, the grocery store, that help fund it, the people in the community, we have a booster club. That was the big thing. That's really our secret.
Right.
We're not a microwave organization. We've been here, we'll still be here going to the future with those guys I just mentioned. If I miss somebody, please forgive me. Coach Thomas, I think. I said Coach Taj, Coach Eric, all the other coaches who are out there now, right? I mean, you guys too are important to what we're doing.
And listen, and it has came full circle because if you don't know, talking to each one of these gentlemen so far, it's the same concept, right? So you talk about consistency, if you will. Let's think about consistency. If you ever want a consistency in a restaurant, something like that, you keep coming back to your favorite bar on the Ave. Good food, better drinks, drink responsibly. You keep coming back to bar on the Ave for what? It's the food? Is it the drinks? Is it a little bit of both, right? The waitress staff, the owners, and stuff like that. There's got to be consistency inside of it. So that's exactly what the NC Raiders have been bringing. On to the future. We are talking none other than Coach Anton. Anton, first and foremost, I know I've told you 100 times that I appreciate you for the opportunity to be able to call games, do the interviews, and hold on, and let's add one more. Tropical Italian Ice was born and bred at Danny Jones Field. Was one of the first places that we did all 3. So I want to say I appreciate you for that. The future, the last few years, man, it's always still been that side eye of this team that comes from a rougher side of town that might not be all guts and glory. What do you say to people? You know, people, they look at it like that. That's how it is. What do you think? Does that bother you?
I grew up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't live in North Carolina, but I'm always come back and give to the kids because I know how this.
Right.
Everything they do in the streets now, I always tell them.
I've been there
20 times. We ain't getting no home.
Yeah.
We done did the party and we done did all this.
And think that they're doing the sneaky stuff. That's one of the things I think that drew me on to you, watching you on the field, on how you interact with those student athletes. It's the tough love. It's the tough love. And I think the part that they don't see, someone outside don't see, is the love part. They see the toughness. They don't see what you do on the outside. They don't see, like I saw, I remember this story. Calling a game at Danny Jones for you. And a young man came right in between the age groups was changing over. And this young man came up and wanted to register to be an NC Raider. And I sat right there and I was watching you the entire time. Go over to the box. I don't know if you remember this. I was watching you go over to the box. You had 2 boxes sitting right by your gate, right in front of the booth. You have a gate right there, Danny Jones. He had 2 boxes sitting on either side. Pants in one and jersey in the other. You sat there and outfitted that kid right there and said, show up to next practice. Show up to next practice. Right then and there, that was probably one of the most solid things, first of all, I've ever seen. Because not only do people not do that on the spot anymore, no, who has extra uniform? Who carries around? I mean, he literally came out. It might have been the time the uniforms were handed out the same day, and this young gentleman just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And that's super fine too. That's God's work. But you sat there and put that kid in full uniform from top to bottom in less than 5 minutes. I believe it was a helmet. They were going to get the shoulder pads, jersey, top and bottom, both the home and away. I think those are parts that people don't see about you, and how you give back, and how you always lead forward with love and understanding first, and then the harshness comes behind it. You feel people have you in this sort of box? Or you don't really, I know you don't give it in. You don't give it in.
Like I said, kids might be mad at me, they come right back and they learn.
And that's the thing, they got you in the group chat now. You're one of them ones that's in the group chat all night long. The G-Man, man, that was one heck of an era.
Yeah, that was.
All right, couples, come on.
Team thing will be like that.
They be like,
That's
I
why
don't think
can't.
it's not about the team. I don't think it's about the team. I think it's about the community. The community will create the brand.
Football league right
No, that was some tough run downhill type stuff, man. That wasn't for the weak. That definitely wasn't for the weak.
there. Like I always tell them, they don't give us credit. But single women, we brought them to the low country. Like,
On the travel.
At first, it was the Raiders running the same thing over and over again.
I remember that, but nobody stopped the play, so why would I change it? I remember.
2 seasons later, the whole league doing the same thing.
We talking beast.
Everybody. I mean, they call it whatever they want to call it, but they know where it came from.
We know bully ball around that same time as we started bully ball. So the reason why we called it bully ball was it was straight just downhill running, just running through the gaps. It was the set up the formation because one of the main ones he used to always say, hold on, don't run it. You get over there, you get over there. All right, I run this. And I'm like, well, why they tell it, letting everybody know where you're running. They probably didn't know the whole. They probably had an idea if it was left or right, but they couldn't stop it. But it was always that funny thing of, oh, run left, run right, run left, run right. But nobody was stopping it. Why would I change up? The G-Man, so the G-Man is, you think is it history, or is it something that it just really ain't on the mind right now?
We can't, like I used to always tell people, they ask us to bring it back, but it's just a brand that, like, we went other places.
It's got to be
The first time, it was like, oh, we was North Charleston, we never saw y'all.
right.
When the tournament was on,
They knew,
we didn't even win the tournament.
right, but they knew.
But they knew
What
what it was.
Rockford Elite, all those other schools.
I remember.
We were up there with those teams. We played
Yep.
them everywhere.
The Kikis and all that. I remember that.
So what he's saying is that while we can't do that is any place, anytime, when we're in Tennessee, when we're in Florida, wherever, that team is going to perform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we always said low country got ballers too.
Yeah.
Let's not get that confused. But I don't want to say I understand his point. How well he think I could work again to bring it to the low country, to bring it back to the low
But
country.
like the younger coaches, like Coach Warren, and
That's definitely it.
that more to the like the new generation players.
Right.
We can't put it because what we demand, like it ain't the same.
But it's not, but then it's not. But what you demand should go through those coaches.
I mean,
You know what I mean? You'd have to pick the right coaches to be in there. Then somebody would be mad that they didn't get, oh, how come I didn't get, I mean, listen,
and back then they understood. See, like we had a
oh,
Kelly.
kids.
I'm saying we had a Kelly and a Ryan.
yep.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
everybody know Kelly and Ryan.
Get the ball. That's so, yeah.
We gonna do our jobs.
Right.
Nobody don't kill that Kelly and Ryan.
It's a team and it won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a Davion and a Young.
And Yanni didn't even want to carry the ball. You know what he wanted to do?
Wide
He wanted to
receiver.
go. He wanted to block.
Receiver. but he used to do the crackback walk, and he used to give us up the business, and he didn't care. But then we had an all-star game, and Coach Booker draft Yannick in the draft, and he was like, y'all didn't give me no running backs. I was like, yeah, you got one. Give it to Yannick. You know who won the all-star game? Yannick, right? And ain't nobody thought he could have run it. But all our kids got it.
The guy always, I think athletic. This athleticism, a lot of athleticism came from the NC Raiders and a lot of teams here in the Low Country, right? But you can, man, I'm top of your head. I just told you the other day I bumped in the moon, right? One of the top kids, MVP for the 77 a while back when we first came across Goose Creek and started doing Goose Creek. That was one of those favorites. But G-Man now, 2026 or something like that. Rocky, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep trying.
That's like, it's different. Like, we had kids from North Carolina come play with us.
Yep.
All right. Our kids probably practice all week, but when those certain kids come to unplug them in a position, you don't hear no backlash from it because they know we here for one day.
Right. And that's the way.
Never had any issues. We just go and step aside, knowing those kids were gonna meet us in Georgia or Florida or Tennessee, and they moved out. That guy's got that position. Everybody respected what everybody could do because of the practices.
Do you think, in all honesty, and of course we use social media, I think social media, I mean, be honest, Mike.
I'll be honest with you.
But then I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay.
I have a team with Ronnie Taylor. We have a team with Ronnie Taylor and all of them. Everybody went to these schools. Coach Chuck asked me to come put that North Charleston on the TV.
Right.
I have all our backup offensive players, and we went undefeated.
I remember that year.
Actually, Reggie Coach came to me and told me our quarterback, oh, he could be the next big thing in Charleston. I ain't never seen a kid play like that in a long time.
Right.
This man couldn't touch the ball on the G-Man team.
And didn't ask to.
He didn't ask to.
Why do you think that is? Right.
And like you said, we had them from 6 all the way to
Yeah. They already knew, so they were bought into the program.
work for what you want. That's it.
Not a lot of programs can even say that either. Not a lot. Some probably could, but the amount of kids that came 6U all the way up, 12U, you went up to high school for a couple of years, still involved in high school, I believe, and they all the kids came to play with you, for you, however you want to say it, and they were still effective. These kids still, now to this day, we can talk about the transfer portal in high school they came on to, and a lot of these kids that they're talking about, the reason why they're going to be dangerous, their home may have been with the NC Raiders, right? So that's just one of those things. So we definitely get that. The future, NC Raiders, the uniforms, all that stuff, always stay stylish. Camo is this year, I believe it's this year. Camo coming back?
Not camo.
No camo?
We got a goal. We got a goal pack for winning national.
Okay.
Coach Warren and the team winning national championship.
Okay.
We did a goal version.
Ooh-wee.
But the one you saw in the video, that's not our
That's
uniform.
not. You always see, man.
You always gotta
see, man. I know,
You got
because
some
you
people
know what I mean. I gotta put it out
People
there.
copy it. So we always show something, but we coming back with something else.
Do you think your style? You think some of your styles are just like some saying uniforms?
No uniform.
Go ahead.
When the league first started, everybody had one uniform. Everybody had one.
Did you just have one?
Yeah, everybody had one. The only team that had a way to enter the Raiders.
Black and white.
Right? And we were the first team that had 3 uniforms. A playoff uniform and the tournament.
I do remember y'all breaking out another uniform almost midway. I do remember that.
Cleats to match. Everything. The Raiders. We set the trend.
You mean the old rec team that turned around and just went travel and out, set the trend.
We the travel. But everything we do, they take the ideas and then it's like, oh yeah, we did it. No, the Raiders started. But they don't give us the credit.
What do you, all right, so as far as credit, I'm not trying to be funny at all. What do you want?
They don't gotta give us
Well, right, but just know who started. Just know who
we
started.
do that.
Right.
And I ain't the type of person.
You gonna keep
That's
changing.
why a lot of people don't like me.
Because you gonna keep
I'm gonna
changing.
let them know, like, yeah, we did.
Yeah,
They don't do it. I'm gonna do it.
right.
Everything you see new in the league,
You started.
we started it over here. Right here. Here when nobody else see it, we did it.
Yeah.
Every time.
So moving on to the future, what do you? We're not even gonna get into the Danny Jones. That's a whole part two because I'm really beside myself about that. That place meant something to me. I get it. Some people may have messed it up, may not have messed it up. You know, and people doing it anywhere. They're drinking, they're smoking, they're doing all kind of stuff anywhere. So you're not gonna be able to control that, no matter where you go. We've been to the nicest places throughout South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and you still walk in smelling the Zaza. Somebody over there pouring something in their cup. So don't put it on the demographics. It only happens here. But Danny Jones is a sore subject to me because, again, and not giving it back to you all, or giving you the opportunity to go in there and just show them is how we can bring the community back together again. It's a sore subject for me because that's where I started my career when it came to youth sports and doing the commentating and the media and stuff like that. So I hope that it's still in conversation. I hope that it's not over with yet. I don't think Chuck done. He took off. He might have took off a half a glove. Both gloves ain't off yet. We can't be done. So whatever we need to do, Chuck, we gotta go talk to the Mayor Burgess. Shout out to you. We might be coming to speak to you next and find out where it's going. Founders to future, right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just now tuning in, here we are with none other than the NC Raiders, Union Heights NC Raiders. Now it's North. You gotta change the page a little bit too much, but it is still the Union Heights NC Raiders. Union Heights Raiders. You do have to dab with it sometimes and do what it's got to do. Chuck,
Yeah.
from when you started to where you're at right now,
Right.
have you better, stale? So. How do you feel about NC Raiders? Even last year, let me tell you something. I've always teased Anton, and he already knows it. Every year, you guys might lose during
Yeah.
preseason. You'll do a preseason tournament just for you guys to get clap, just for you to get some work. You'll lose. I know this. I've been one who's beaten you guys before. But when the season actually starts and it counts, that's not the same. Not the same team. I'm not talking about your roster changes. I'm not talking about new kids coming in. That's just not the same team, and everybody might sleep on that. How do you think the Raiders are right now as an organization, as a family? How does the perception?
And like I told you from the beginning, it's God.
Yeah.
I think right now where we are, we're in a great position right now. And the most important thing is finding the right person
Right.
to carry the torch. Because like you was explaining to me earlier, in 2018, when I came to Randy with the idea to let Anton take the helm and pass the keys to him,
Yeah.
this man cried.
Yeah.
Shocked me. And I said, man, I know we was going in the right direction. So where we are now, and him still being young and still youthful, and we got some young coaches, I think it's in great hands.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you start on the right foundation, man, it's always go in a good direction.
Right.
Speaking on the guy who I told you about who helped started our program, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here.
That man's here.
You can talk to him.
There it is.
He's here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, why, without further ado, right there, that young man right there, do me a favor, brother, lean up, tell everybody your name loud and proud.
I'm sorry, I'm originally from Academy.
All right. So the originator, the one who sent everybody to TNT Sports, sent everybody to TNT Sports, came out of your own pocket and started with the uniforms and the jerseys, the practice stuff, the helmets, and all of that. Why? Why did you do that?
It's a long story.
Well, we'll get the shorter version. We're gonna have to do a part two when it comes back.
Short version, life I used to live.
Yeah.
I come up in the streets.
Right.
I wanted to see something different from people.
Right.
I didn't have the opportunity of somebody giving me something to say, man, do this, start your life. I wanted to give the young fellas a fresh start, a good start.
Yeah.
The ones who couldn't afford it. Because you got a lot of talent out there. You got parents who can't afford what they need.
Right.
That's what I was looking at. I was looking at the fact that, hey, just give all these kids a chance, whether their mom and dad got a good job, whether they can afford equipment or not. Just give them all a good start.
Quick question. So, of course, the community knew who you were at that time. Was there backlash when you did, like, some people side-eye, like, why is he the one doing it? Or, I mean, heck, if you were the only one stepping up, too much, they wouldn't say too much, but I'm pretty sure you had some people who might have disagreed, I guess, with your lifestyle, and more so, might have disagreed with money coming into a youth
To
organization.
be honest with you, when I noticed it wasn't done out of, hey, I'm doing this.
I got you.
I'm saying probably many years, nobody even never knew.
Right. That's how it's supposed to be.
How long Chuck you been? 20 years, ain't nobody never knew.
Right. 24. Chuck no.
Because it wasn't done.
Right.
It was done from the heart.
Right.
I wasn't looking for recognition. I wasn't looking for nobody to say, oh, I did it from the heart.
Right.
So I didn't tell nobody about it.
Right. You want to just basically do for the community, right? And that's one of the biggest things that we say here at PhD, Youth Sports for the community, by the community, right? Pete Grant says, "Goats, I am who I am because of these men." She is paying on my behind, is what she is. But we love you too, sis. Keep on doing what you're doing. Chuck,
Yeah.
right now, the idea is to eventually hand over the keys to the kingdom to Anton. Between him and Monty, if he's right behind him, I don't think you guys lose. I don't think you guys will ever walk away from the game, but maybe from the responsibility part about it. Hey man, just take it. I want to know. But you'll probably still be right there. Am I wrong to say that?
Well, actually, yes, you are.
Yeah. Okay.
Because just last week we had a 8-passenger van donated to the program
Whoa.
through the same guy
Yeah.
and another young man from another community. Everybody know him as Lil T.
Yeah.
I think it's 263 Mafia. I don't want to see the wrong thing.
I got you too.
But anyway, he always been an eye and head next to the program.
Yeah.
And I was instructed by them that I need to get more involved because they want me to take on a little more responsibility because there are better things to come.
Okay. All right. So basically, you're not moving out. You're just moving in another direction.
Well,
but it's all to still evolve and help the community at the end of the day.
I never left. I
Yeah.
always was on the administrative side of it.
Right.
Turn the keys over to Anton, as I tell you, 2018.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
when we went from Raiders to G-Men, it was all his idea.
Yeah.
It was all his idea, all their idea.
Right.
And football had kind of changed, and we needed a younger mind around to kind of match those young things we had going on.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that's kind of where Coach Monty came in at, because he always been a X and O guy, a numbers guy that always stayed involved. And he'll come to me and he said, "Well, Chuck, I know you're kind of stubborn. I know you're old school, but we got to kind of go to too high. We got to go to this and we got to go to that." And that's how it worked.
Right.
So as long as we kept that each one teach one mentality, no matter who it was, no big me, little you mentality, that's how it worked. That's exactly how it worked. And what they didn't mention earlier, giving them something to do, we actually had football, baseball, and basketball.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So when the baseball, it took too long and it got overwhelming, so we went with summer basketball.
Okay.
And that's how I kind of miss out on the G-Man start.
Because
I was so
you're
deep
doing
in the
basketball.
playoffs, and they keep needing me, and I tell them, y'all go ahead. I can't just tell the kids I gotta quit and go.
Right. Right.
Because we teaching them to keep going.
Right.
But one thing that y'all didn't remember, y'all didn't mention, we kept a lot of these kids not only off the street,
Yeah.
we kept them together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
a lot
you
of these
had
guys.
this area, that area, this area, that area. You played for them Raiders,
Yeah.
you been brothers.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
that kept a
Even
lot
to
of,
this day.
that even kept a lot of the street beef
Yeah.
off the records because no, man, I can't do that, man. Coach Chuck, Coach Monty, and them boys, they taught us we got to stick together.
Right.
So it did a lot for the community, and if you really pay attention, and like I told you when we talked, we never really had the platform to tell the story on. We're basically doing the same thing they're doing down there in Liberty City.
Right.
We might not have the overall success like the NFL success,
Right.
but I guarantee you when it comes to kids being successful, kids being managable, and just being entrepreneurs, now we got a catundra of kids in college.
Right. Oh yeah.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
That came through this same program. So that's why I say when what makes sense to God doesn't make sense to us, man. This program is in the right direction, been going in the right direction. And I trust Anton to pick the right person when he decides to step off because he's still young. He started young.
Right.
I started young. And everything get old and you're gonna have to go with a younger mind. I got one good guy in mind, Jawan Wynn.
Yeah.
Is a good guy.
Yep.
We got a few guys in mind, so we will just see when that go. But as for me, stepping off, in April we gave this guy a plaque.
Yeah.
50 years of service.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
50 years of service. And I've been coaching 37 years.
Yeah.
He 27, he 27. And to the bottom of his plaque, win, lose, or tie, we're going to be Raiders till the day we die.
There you go.
So we ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And guess what? Going back when we started in 1990, 2005 was the first year that we had All-Star, Low Country All-Star.
Yep.
So this was the first year that our kids like went into. I think we brought back one championship. We brought back two, and we lost the 12U championship in overtime. But God bless his soul, Coach Al Graham won it in the 8U, in the 10U we won it. First year, 2005. We won it.
Hey.
First year.
Listen, and they're not even shy now to this day. You guys are not shy at all
Right.
to winning stuff.
No.
I've seen some great games again. Dandy Jones is one of those places. One of my favorite games, top game that I've ever seen before in my life. Calling games. You remember? You already know what I'm talking about. Ashley Ridge was whooping y'all behind. They just it was Ashley Ridge whooping y'all and thought it was over with. We talk about going into the fourth quarter. They was down. Y'all didn't have nothing. Then all of a sudden, back to back to back. Man, these were what 10 minutes? Was that 10U? That was 8U. Never 10U. They turned around and came back and won the game. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. See, that's what I'm saying. There's stuff that happens in these games that a lot won't see. But myself and the student, shout out to the student. That's one of those games right there that will forever stay embedded inside my mind. The interview with Moon came up there and you gave him MVP. He started acting like he was crying. Stuff like that, man. Those kids bought into everything that you guys were doing. So from all of us who are real fans of the game, who are real fans and know you guys personally, not just behind the coaching stuff, but who sit there to have a conversation with you on some other stuff. I know you guys might not like Monty too much when he's throwing the flags and stuff like that, but believe me, he's a fair but firm guy. All right, I even bump heads with him, but at the end of the day, I still love that brother. So we want to say thank you for everything that you guys have been doing here for the North Charleston community and continue to do and growing to do. And if you ever need PhD in youth sports, please reach out to us and let us know. We'll be right there. We do basketball too, Chuck.
Yeah.
We do basketball too now. Don't get it twisted. We like the indoors and get on there and see the boys.
I haven't
Get a little
coached
shit.
basketball since the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Our basketball team was the Kings.
Okay.
And we won the national championship in 2005.
I had great basketball back.
We won a bunch of national
Baseball, yeah, a bunch of them.
But we were the North Charleston Kings because of Anthony Johnson,
Okay,
who was first drafted by the Kings.
right.
So that's why
when
we
you
kind
took,
of give our team names of people who were from where we from.
right.
So they can, kind of have something to aim at.
That's
something
right.
to aim for.
That's right.
To see that, why not me? You know?
Ooh, I love that mentality.
why not me?
Why not me mentality is always big. It's always big. Well, gentlemen, thank you once again. Thank you for taking the time out. We might have to do a part 2. We might have to be a part 2 because there's some stories. I want to get into the stories for it, boy. I want to get into some of that good stuff. Randy, I know you ain't telling anything, but we gonna find out on the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen, we appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. Please keep doing what you're doing. Always, man. Always. Y'all know what it is, man. PhD. Always bigger than the game. Let's go. Hey, don't forget, Bar on the Ave, good food, better drinks, but definitely drink responsibly. I'm PhD Youth Sports. I'm the professor, aka the Skybox Bully, and I'm out.